They arrested me in front of the whole town, and no one questioned it, because the evidence was perfect. My fingerprints on the gun, the victim dead in his own house. Case closed. But here's the part they didn't know. I wasn't the killer. I was the setup. And the real murderer was standing in that house watching me take the blame. They say the truth always comes out, but in Black Ridge, truth isn't what people want. It's what they believe. The night I was arrested, the whole town was watching. Not in shock, not in disbelief. No, they were waiting to see the moment I broke. "My name is Emily Carter," I told the officer as cold metal wrapped around my wrists. He didn't even look at me, because to him, I wasn't Emily anymore. I was a headline, a story, a murderer. Black Ridge was the kind of town where nothing ever happened, the kind where people smiled too much and whispered even more. So when something finally did happen, something ugly, they didn't look for the truth. They looked for someone to blame. And somehow, they chose me. A librarian, quiet, invisible, easy to ignore, easy to accuse. Daniel Reeves, that was the name everyone cared about. Successful, respected, untouchable, until the night he was found dead in his own home. One bullet, clean, professional, no struggle, no noise, just silence, and a gun with my fingerprints on it. I didn't do this. I said it in court. I said it to the police. I said it to myself over and over again, but no one was listening, because then came the question that buried me alive. Why were you at his house that night? And just like that, everything stopped. Because the truth would destroy me in a different way. Daniel Reeves wasn't a hero. He was a man who collected secrets, and mine was his favorite. He had found something from my past, something I had buried miles away, years ago, and he didn't want money. No, he wanted control. So I went to his house that night, not to kill him, but to end it, to stop him, to finally breathe again. He was alive when I left. I remember it clearly, the way he smirked, the way he said, "You can't escape who you are, Emily." I walked out, heart pounding, hands shaking, but he was alive. He was breathing. I swear, he was alive. Jail changes you, not all at once, slowly, quietly, like something eating away at you from the inside. My cell had 13 iron bars. I counted them every night. 1, 2, 3, until 13, over and over again, like they meant something, like they were trying to tell me something. 13 chances, 13 truths, or maybe 13 lies. Then the letter came. No name, no return address, just a single sentence written in uneven ink. You were not supposed to survive that night. That's when everything changed, because suddenly this wasn't about proving I was innocent. This was about something bigger, something darker. I started remembering things I hadn't noticed before, little details, the kind your brain ignores when you're scared. There were footsteps that night, upstairs, soft, careful, watching. Someone else was there, someone who didn't want to be seen. And then it hit me. There was only one person who could be in that house without raising suspicion. Lena Brooks, his assistant, always around, always quiet, always invisible, just like me. At first, nothing seemed wrong. Her records were clean, her life perfect, too perfect, because people like that don't exist. It took time, digging, pushing, refusing to give up. And then we found it, a crack in the story, a name that didn't belong, because Lena Brooks didn't exist 5 years ago. Her real name was Rebecca Hale, and her story was soaked in revenge. Her father had lost everything because of Daniel Reeves, his reputation, his career, his life. And Rebecca, she didn't forget. She rebuilt herself, changed her name, got close, waited years just to get one perfect moment. And that moment was the night I walked into that house. I wasn't the killer. I was the opportunity, the perfect scapegoat, a woman with a past, a woman no one would defend, a woman the town was all ready to hate. The truth came out in court, not because we forced it out, but because she wanted it to. Rebecca stood there, calm, still, almost proud. She said, "I killed him." No hesitation, no fear. And I chose her. She looked straight at me because no one would question it. Silence filled the room. But it wasn't shock. It was realization that they had already decided who I was long before the truth showed up. I walked out of that courtroom a free woman, but freedom didn't feel like freedom because in Black Ridge, people don't forget, they don't forgive, and they don't admit they were wrong. To them, I will always be the girl who almost got away with murder. And those 13 bars, I still see them sometimes, in my dreams, lined up, cold, unmoving, a reminder that sometimes you don't need to be guilty to be trapped. Thanks for watching.